as well as the
The May Day is an annual event which brings workers together to appraise their performance and chart the way forward. The day is also set aside to recognize hard work and dedication of workers across all sectors.
We are asking that let there be commencement of the housing unit. Having paid the land, let the land not be laying fallow without any engagement. We plead that let there be engagement for the commencement of the construction.
Addressing the workers, Governor Caleb Mutfwang says in response to the hardship being experienced by civil servants, the state government has introduced measures to cushion the effect of economic pressure.
Measures we have introduced include a significant reduction in metro transport fares by the Plateau Express services to ease daily commuting. We have signed, like the NLC chairman said, an MOU for workers' housing scheme because we believe that every worker deserves a roof over their head. We are going to pursue this by the grace of God with more vigor.
He says his government refused to be overwhelmed by the challenges it inherited and confronted head-on with resolve and compassion.
Today, I am proud to say that the story has changed and is continuing to change for the better. To the glory of God, we cleared the backlog of salary arrears, restoring the dignity of regular and predictable income.
Workers and revitalization of the civil service are stressing.
This has witnessed remarkable turnaround. Even the NLC chairman in his speech made a lot of talk about the achievement of His Excellency. From the clearance of inherited arrears to the lifting of embargo on promotions, to the prompt payment of pensions and gratuities and the approval of the 70,000 minimum wage. These are concrete steps that reflect not just political will, but genuine empathy and response to governance.
That the theme for the Workers' Day celebration, reclaiming the civic space in the midst of economic hardship, resonates deeply. Prayer for peace and development of Plateau State and the country was offered. In Jos, Ruth Stephen Hockey, NTA News.
Away from labor matters, Plateau State government says it will assist the traders who lost their sources of livelihood as a result of fire outbreak to go back to their lawful businesses. Governor Caleb Mutfwang says this when he visited the Nta Jos main market to assess the damage.
The fire outbreak, which occurred a few days ago, ravaged shops in their hundreds, leaving the traders' faith hanging in the balance. Governor Caleb Mutfwang, in company of top government officials, visited the market where he expressed sadness over the incident, especially at the time the state is battling with insecurity. He appealed to the traders to cooperate with government so that they can be assisted to bounce back to their businesses.
I have been duly briefed by the security agencies that this was occasioned by an electric spark because of the kind of makeshift arrangements that we have in the premises of the Nta Jos market. It's very sad. It could have happened because a human being was careless or negligent, and it has put us in this very lamentable situation. I want to assure the traders that we will work together with the Just Love local government and their union and see how we can help them to start life again.
The governor also disclosed that he will soon unfold decision of government on the old market premises.
A bit on health, Plateau State government has commended President Bola Ahmed Tinubu for the wise decision to create the Ministry of Livestock Development, saying the state shares the same vision with the president and will leverage on the opportunities to create employment for its teeming youth. Governor Caleb Mutfwang gave the commendation when he received the Minister of Livestock Development on a courtesy visit in Government House, Little Rayfield. Grace Akweguti reports.
The Federal Ministry of Livestock Development came into existence in June 2024 with the mandate to transform the livestock sector into a modern, vibrant, resilient and global comprehensive sector. The pioneer minister of the ministry, Idi Mukhtar, says the ministry is set to rehabilitate over 400 grazing reserves spread across the country, including that of Wase in Plateau State. The minister explained that the initiative under the Developing Livestock for National Prosperity will unlock millions of opportunity for local and international markets, stressing that comprehensive ranging model that will be launched in Wase Grazing Reserve will go a long way in resolving conflicts between farmers and herders.
This is out to transform the livestock sector into a modern, vibrant, resilient and global competitive sector. It is the common knowledge that the livestock sector in the country today is steeped up in conservative practices. Both our genetics and animal husbandry practices are backward. It is the duty of the ministry to modernize that sector by doing one genetic upgrade so that at least Nigerian livestock sector can compete with their counterpart elsewhere in the world. We are going to pursue that one very, very aggressively.
While responding, Governor Caleb Mutfwang thanked President Bola Ahmed Tinubu for establishing the ministry that will resolve the national crisis, saying the state government has also taken steps to key into it.
I think this is a wonderful idea whose time has come. Let me thank Mr. President. When he took this initiative to create the Ministry of Livestock Development, many people had misgivings about it. But today, with what you have unveiled, it shows to us a clear roadmap that not only are we going to boost our economy and GDP, we're going to create employment.
The governor also charged the relevant authorities of the state to work as a team so that they can raise the profile of the sector for the benefit of all. In Jos, Grace Akwegoti, NTA News.
The report was from the Ministry of Livestock and not Health. Moving on, Plateau State Government will partner with stakeholders to achieve the Sustainable Development Goals on reducing maternal and newborn mortality. The State Commissioner for Health, Dr. Nicholas Bamlong, stated this at a one-day comprehensive emergency obstetrics and newborn care CMAC assessment dissemination agenda. Ijoma Ozemena has more.
Plateau State, like other parts of Nigeria, has continued to grapple with high maternal and newborn mortality rates, with recent data of 556 and 814 deaths per 100,000 births. Reports on a study conducted in 2024 by relevant stakeholders in health sector reveals a maternal mortality rate of 905 per 100,000 live births, while under 5 mortality rate is 110 per 1,000 live births, with rural areas experiencing higher rates. These statistics, key players say, is unacceptable.
Now that we understand that we have a problem, is for us to come together, pinpoint where and how we're supposed to handle those particular challenges and give the blueprint of those particular things that we've identified to the government.
All of us must rise to this occasion. And we are calling on people who are working at these service delivery points. Please do your best.
Commissioner for Health Dr. Bamlong notes that their focus is to reduce the figures by the end of the year and build on subsequent years until figures get below the national average.
With the renewed effort by the current government, we believe that very soon a lot of things will change. Starting from the primary healthcare facilities, you know that there's a lot of revitalization. Currently, about 82 primary healthcare centers are being revitalized, and so we expect that in another month or so, all of those ones will become functional. The government is already working on how we can improve the human resource for health.
What we are trying to do on the plateau is, let's reduce the maternal and morbidity on the plateau. The death rate due to delivery is a problem. Storage of drugs
And we do hope that as we continue the deliberation, we'll be able to come up with critical points that the state government can use to changing this narrative. Thank you.
Stakeholders identify key priorities like strengthening primary and secondary health care systems, enhancing emergency obstetric care, data collection and monitoring, as well as advocacy and policy development as strategies to improve maternal and newborn health. In Jos, Ijoma Ozemena, NTA News.
You're watching the news live on NTA Network Center Jos. More stories after this break.
Sahara, we rise, a land of the free, we know they tire. We dream great, our spirit is undying.
Resilient, rooted like palm tree, we swear in colors, we stand up in demand. We make solutions, we ignite passion, yeah. Ethnicity is unique, we are more than the solution. We are Nigeria, we are Nigeria, strengthening unity. We know they carry love. We are Nigeria, we are Nigeria. Together live the dream of a land with great destiny. We are Nigeria.
I am the real Nigerian. Brought to you by the National Orientation Agency, NOA.
NTA News. First with the news. Authentic and reliable.
Glad you're still there. The Senate of the University of Jos has approved the creation of a new Faculty of Architecture and the restructuring of the Faculty of Veterinary Medicine. The BSc Architecture program will now operate as 3 separate departments: Architecture, Interior Architecture Design, and Landscape Architecture. In addition, the 3 existing veterinary medicine departments have been unbundled into 6 distinct departments, including veterinary medicine, veterinary surgery and radiology, veterinary microbiology, veterinary pathology, veterinary physiology and biochemistry, and veterinary pharmacology and toxicology. These changes align with recommendations from the National Universities Commission, NUC, to improve academic standards and relevance. The university also announced new incentives for researchers, including funding support for staff who publish in first and second quarter academic journals as part of efforts to promote high-quality research outputs. Journalists have been urged to continually project Plateau State's strengths, as positive media focus is vital for development and peace. Former member, House of Representatives, Jos South, Jos East Federal Constituency, Nta Jos, gave this charge during an interactive session with journalists in Jos. Lucky Jerry McPack reports.
The former lawmaker, Nta Jos, commended the media for their role in projecting the state in a positive light and encouraged them to continue showcasing Plateau's potentials and achievements. He urged journalists to remain vigilant and committed to their profession, highlighting the impact of their work on the state's development and progress.
Here, Plateau, and you have made sure that the narrative of the challenges we have faced on the Plateau, that the true narrative is set out as it is.
The former rep member also encouraged Plateau youths to seize opportunities and pursue their passions, whether in politics, business, or other fields. He advised them to be prepared and proactive, emphasizing that readiness and determination are key to success. On the issue of insecurity in the state, the former representative advocated for the creation of state police, arguing that it would enable more effective and localized security management. He believes that with state police, security challenges in the state will be addressed, allowing for quicker response time and more targeted interventions.
My slogan and belief has always been that we should have a better and greater Plateau youth. And that's why I stand on equipping the next generation. And in equipping the next generation, we're not just talking about we're equipping a generation that is not prepared. And that's why we always encourage the Plateau youth that you are a leader of today preparing for your tomorrow.
The interactive session provided a platform for open discussion, allowing journalists and the former lawmaker to exchange ideas on how to promote Plateau State's interest and development. In Jos, Lucky Jerima Park, NTA News.
Moving on, the Ngolongas in the Jika Gulet has cautioned political parties against using traditional festivals in Ngas land as platform for political promotion. A statement by his press secretary, Wukaska Bakogowon, the monarch condemned the display of party banners and political attire during the recent Ngas Festival of Arts and Culture held at the Pangshin Mini Stadium, stating it undermines the festival's cultural purpose. He emphasized that the event is meant to promote unity, preserve Ngas heritage, and pray for a fruitful farming season, while appreciating the Ngas Development Association for organizing a successful festival. He expressed disappointment with political party leaders whose supporters disrupted the cultural essence of the event. The Ngolongas thanked Governor Caleb Woodfang, the special guest of honor, representatives of other distinguished guests, Dr. Nentawe Yilwada, Minister of Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Reduction, senators, representatives of other ministers, members of House of Representatives, Gabriel Dewan, Speaker, Plateau State House of Assembly, members of the Plateau State House of Assembly, and traditional rulers for honoring the invitation. He warned that future festivals will not tolerate political interference and call for public apologies from parties involved. The monarch also commended security efforts in the region, particularly the support from Pangshin and Kanke Council chairman, urging continued cooperation to curb criminal activities. Now, that's the size of our bulletin this evening, but before we go, here's the message. Nigeria is blessed with human and material resources. Make meaningful contributions for its development. Good evening.
NTA News. First with the news. Authentic and reliable.
As citizens, we need to support the government effort to make Plateau State clean and healthy. It is a collective effort. Let's work as a team.
The issue of cleaning the environment is beyond a task force. It is something that must become a way of life for us. We are not a dirty people. We are people that love cleanliness.
Do not throw trash in the drains. Let's dispose of waste properly. Keep Plateau State clean and healthy. This message is from NTA Network Center, Jos.
Plateau State is situated in the tropical zone of north-central Nigeria. The state derived its name from the topographical nature of the Jos Plateau. The Jos Plateau has the highest altitude than all other local government areas in the state, which range between 1,200 meters and 1,829 meters above sea level. The state enjoys one of the best climates in the country. Due to the high topography of Plateau State, many rivers in the state have very slopey gradients. Once in the river areas, one looks up before one sees the sky. This leads to the rivers cutting even rocks that are igneous and intrusive, digging down to find the level of the river. Plateau State is perhaps one of the most blessed states in Nigeria. It parades lots of tourist attractions and sites, traditional architecture, and abundant relaxation centers. Among the many tourist attractions are numerous waterfalls. Asop Falls is the natural waterfalls occurring at the bottom of the famous Hawan Kibo, a rocky uneven hill stretching a long distance below which members of the community live and by which the community is named. The silence before getting to the waterfalls itself is occasioned by various songs of different birds' chirpings while creating rhythmic music to the ear, only to prepare a visitor or tourist for what awaits him. The site of the falls is an area of Guinea savanna on top of mid-altitude ridge of the Jos Plateau. Beside the Jos Kangaroo Road, about 64 kilometers from Jos. Asop Falls flowing down the valley with an intensity that will send excitement through one's heart and make one's wonder of the awe that the creation of such beauty only nature can provide. Asop Falls is without the slightest doubt a huge tourist attraction which nature has endowed Nigeria with and located in Plateau State. The falls flows all year round with the volume of water increasing during the rainy season. The beauty displayed by the surrounding hills and the clean rocky terrain is surely inviting and indeed breathtaking. The splashing water is astonishingly beautiful. Asop Falls is an ideal site for picnicking, swimming, bird viewing and sightseeing which may be known to many. Verily, waterfalls are numerous in Plateau State. A trip to Jibang village in Pangshin local government area with its hilly and beautiful surrounding characteristics of Plateau State reveals more of the state's natural endowments of site beauty and more waterfalls. Broketut Waterfalls is one such natural endowment. It is a waterfalls to reckon with, though largely undiscovered. For the natives of Jibam, the waterfalls has been of historical significance. Its significance is embedded in the myth that surrounds the role it has played in the lives of the people. Tourism is one area governments at all levels in Nigeria can diversify their revenue generation. Broketut Waterfalls with its surrounding scenic beauty is begging to be tapped. This beautiful waterfalls has its source in the river Matez in Jibam. The river is truly historic in its own right. Apart from housing waterfalls, one of which is Broketut Waterfalls, the second tallest bridge in West Africa crosses over it. Jibam Bridge is only second to Gadan Saliu, which is on the way to Mambila Plateau. Just a short distance up along River Matez, not far away from Broketut Waterfalls, is another tourist attraction also yet to be tapped. Guy Spring water has been existing for hundreds of years. The inhabitants of Jibam use the spring as a major source of drinking water, especially during dry season. This is owing to the fact that Guy Spring water does not change its whitish color and it never dries year in, year out. The sandy as well as rocky surrounding has its own unique beauty, ideal for picnicking. River Matez is undoubtedly rich in tourism potentials. A few meters away from Guy Spring is yet another waterfalls which needs to be harnessed. Arad Waterfalls is also situated down the mountainous region of Jibam, Plateau State. The waterfalls, gorging downwards, is a great sight to behold. It also has a myth explaining the significance it has in the existence of Jibam village and how it benefited the people in ancient times. The entire surrounding of Arad Waterfalls is certainly eye-catching, and visitors to this part of the world are assured of quality time. What is remaining is the development of such waterfalls and others to world-class standard, and Nigeria will be the better for it.
Yeah.